Yo, what's going on, my VVOGs, my Omi homies, my fellow master collectors, and everybody else on YouTube? It's your bromy, the Gale, back at it again with my first VV video of 2022. Let's do it. Alrighty then, it is the year of 2022. Happy New Year's, my friends, and everybody else. And so what I noticed on the app was a few price movements regarding some collectibles, and I just wanted to take a look at these interesting price movements and possibly learn some lessons from these collectibles and maybe speculate as to what's to come in the future. So without further ado, let's just breeze into it. So the first collectible I want to look at is the Todd McFarlane Batman. With 155 left in the market for purchase, it has finally breached the 4K price point, sitting at a floor of 4.3K currently. And what is there to say about this one? Obviously, we all know that this is the first NFT on the app. This is the first appearance Batman, and yeah, I mean, this is a season 1 collectible, and as most of us have been saying, that season 1 collectibles are going to do big things in the future. I recently sold one for 3.1K, I think, and you never know what these collectibles are going to do. Like I said in the past, I didn't want to sell a Todd. You don't want to play around with blue chips or grails like Todd, and I sold one to have some funds just in case something crazy dropped. And if I would have held, then I would be sitting pretty with a 4.3K in a Todd. But yeah, I mean, you just live and you learn, right? So like I said, season 1 collectibles I think they're all gonna moon over time, and they're gonna be the first ones to do it. Certain collectibles will do it quicker than others, but I think all season 1s will have their day in the sun. So yeah, Todd has finally breached 4.3K. That's getting up there with the Prides and even the Steamboat Mickeys. So yeah, this is why we talk about Todd McFarlane a lot, because I think this price will hold, and it's only going to increase over time. There's not too many left before it hits 5K, and this Todd is going to take off one day, I think, and you just want to at least try to have one before it does. If you can't afford one, it is what it is. There's plenty of other opportunities on the app, but just wanted to take a look at Todd. He's moving slowly but surely. Like Todd's the one that keeps on trucking along. Like, he's not going to dip too much further. He's not gonna have heavy dips, but when he does dip, that's your opportunity, because it won't stay there for long. So yeah, Todd McFarlane, man, look out for him. Staying on this same trend, I want to take a look at the Becky Clooney Batman from the same set, same series, same season. So this is a season 1 collectible, which has finally breached the 1K price point. It's currently at a floor of 1.2K gems. This is the Becky Clooney Batman that was in the same set, the same first ever set on Veve, Batman Black and White season 1. Now, I sold Becky Clooney for $530 like 2 to 3 weeks ago, right before the 12 days of Veve. So in order to prepare for prepare for all the drops we were going to get. So the reason I sold Becky Clooney was because I knew I probably wasn't going to complete that set with Rizzo, and so I just figured I would rather have the gems and take advantage of future drops. But it is now more than double the price it was just 3 weeks ago. So like I said, sticking with that same trend, season 1 collectibles are going to do their thing, and especially the first set. The further back the collectibles go, the quicker I think they're going to appreciate and value. So I'm okay with not having a Becky Clooney. You're not going to have everything on the app, but this is a lesson in holding. If you could just hold, then odds are you're gonna make out fine. So if I would have just held this, then I would be in profit as well. But like I said, I didn't mind letting it go because I was able to get some Steamboat Mickeys by selling this. So you can't beat yourself up over selling something and then the price goes up. Like, you made moves in that moment for a reason. None of us have any idea what these collectibles are going to do unless we're like really in tune with some special groups or whatever. Sometimes groups pump it. Sometimes, news might come out in wherever on Twitter or from DC or Marvel themselves that help push the price. But the point is that none of us know what these prices are going to do. So have conviction in your decisions, whether it's to hold or to sell for a possible opportunity. You just got to accept your decisions and don't beat yourself up if the price dumps or if it, pumps. So Becky Clooney, another season 1 collectible, heading to the moon. So let's move on. Now we're going to head over to Tokidoki land, an unexpected price point on an unexpected collectible. We're going to take a look at Pepperino, the only unicorno with 2 horns. It currently has a floor of 152 gems. Now that is surprising to me, this soon at least. I've gone on record in saying that I expect all Tokidoki unicornos to have a floor of 100 gems eventually, but I did not expect this price so soon. This is the first appearance of Pepperino, Season 1 unicornos, the only unicorno set on the app so far. It only has 3,500 editions. Now that is a very low edition count because it was dropped in Season 1, back when we only had like 10,000 users on the app. So I currently have 3. Obviously wish I had more at this point. There's only 43 left in the market. And yeah, man, like I've said before, the Tokidoki fans have not even arrived on the app yet. And when they do, I think these are all going to have their day in the sun. I've been stacking Fumos for this very reason. So I would have been happy if Fumo was the one with 158 floor, but it has a $92 floor, so it'll be at 100 before we know it. And like I said, I currently have 10 Fumos. I sold a couple. I used to have 12, but I do expect all Tokidoki to do their thing because they're Season 1. And as you can see, another edition size of 3,500. That is very low compared to the edition sizes that we get these days. And I personally think that Season 1 collectibles are going to be very sought after once Ecomi establishes themselves in the mainstream and as more and more users come on to the app. So it's just like Muka, still cheap. I think she's a common, and she has a 5,500, and that used to seem like a lot of additions, but that's very low as well. So I know Tokidoki isn't the biggest brand in the world, but it is a popular brand. I believe more so in Asia. So, you really can't sleep on any of these brands that are on Veve. If it's on Veve, I'm very bullish on it, So, wait, let me take a look at Bellina real quick. So Pepperino has a price point higher than Bellina, and Bellina has only 2,500 editions. So that's interesting. It could be a manipulation. It could be a group pumping Pepperino or something, but at any rate, it's going to cost you 158 gems to get a Pepperino these days. So, just be aware that Season 1 collectibles are going to be very sought after. So that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. And yeah, with that being said, let's move on. So now I want to take a look at a recent fan favorite, the altogether now ultra rare Steamboat Mickey. So a few weeks ago or last week, we saw a high of like 6.3k gems, at which point, that's the point where people are unsure what to do. So when it reaches a high like that, some people sell off and some people hold, expecting it to go to 7k and beyond. But if you would have sold at 6.3k, you would have been able to buy back in at 4.1k and had an extra 2,000 gems to spare. So these are the decisions that we are that we have to think about going forward with future drops, because history shows, or like in my experience, I've noticed that any collectible, whenever it reaches an all-time high, it usually settles back down to a lower price point. And I'm always kicking myself. I'm saying man, I could have sold and bought back in lower and had extra gems. But in the moment, you never know. Like, you really never know what these collectibles are going to do. We have multiple whales on the app, and we have like thousands of users joining daily. You just never know if a collectible is going to settle at a price point, hold, dip, or go to the moon. So anything other than holding, I think it's a risk, and sometimes even holding is a risk depending on the collectible. But we all know that Steamboat Willie is a grail, so it's going to hold a decent price point. But selling at 6K would have been a really awesome move, and then buying back in lower. So just things to think about. That's why you got to know what you're holding. You got to know the brand. Obviously Disney and Mickey is a huge brand, so it's not as risky as other brands, but sometimes it pays to sell the top. If you know a collectible is pumping, if somebody on Twitter is pumping the collectible, or a YouTuber or whoever, then it might pay off to like sell one at the top, especially if you have multiples, and then buy back in when it dips. So just something to think about. Shout out to Steamboat Mickey though. Hopefully it goes back up. And let's move on. And now I want to take a look at a comic in particular, the Amazing Spider-Man 252. Now this comic was the lowest run ever that Veve has dropped so far. This is how Veve chose to end the year. Or actually, I think it was Marvel's decision. I'm not sure if the people at Veve were happy about their choice to drop an edition size of only 1,000. So let's take a look at the common. The common currently has a floor of 3.5K editions. Let's take a further look at the details. There's only 425 editions of this cover variant. And, it was a lot of speculation as to whether this comic would do well regarding price point. Now, apparently the market has spoken. Whether, these people are bots or whales or whatever, the point is it's going to cost you 3.5K if you want a common of this comic. So if we take a look at the uncommon, it currently has a floor of 4K. The rare has a floor of 6.5K gems, okay? The ultra rare is going for 17.7K gems, and the secret rare, with only 5 listed, has a floor of 77.7K. Now, a few things to mention here. Just because it's listed at these prices doesn't mean people will pay these prices. But there's no doubting that if you want this secret rare comic, you're gonna have to, either they're gonna have to lower the price, or you're gonna have to come up with the money. Like this is an interesting situation because there's only 40, right? So people could list it for whatever they want, but it doesn't mean that they're gonna sell. So if they truly want to sell, then they're gonna lower the price, or if somebody really wants to buy, then they're gonna come up with the price. Now, I've seen some people buying these for 7K, 10K, because they believe in the scarcity. Now, apparently, and obviously, scarcity does matter. We've all done our research on this comic, and it doesn't have much real world value, but I don't think that really doesn't matter if Veve comes on here and says, hey, we're only going to drop 1,000 of these comics. So that means only 1,000 people in the world can have this particular version of this comic. So it might not have real world value, but when Veve introduces scarcity of 1,000 editions, I think they create their own, this value. This comic has more value now because it's on the Veve app and the scarcity level that it's currently at. So whether people made a mistake buying these for thousands or not, that has yet to be determined, because this is the only comic on the app with 1,000 editions. As we get more comics with similar edition sizes, we will see if that trend continues, or if people are willing to let this one go for less, because there's, this isn't the scarcest comic on the app anymore. So time will tell with this. This is a very, very interesting experiment that Marvel has brought to the Veve comics section. So we will be paying close attention to seeing how this comic performs, as well as future comics of similar edition sizes, if we get them. And yeah, I just wanted to point this comic out, because if somebody wanted every Amazing Spider-Man, series, every issue, then they might have to pay a pretty penny for this one, and it might even raise further in price as we get more Amazing Spider-Man issues. But like I said, time will tell, and we will definitely be paying attention to this one. So let us move on. And that's the video, my friends. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you learned something or enjoyed the content, feel free to drop a like on the video and consider subscribing for more Veve content like this. So yes, I just wanted to take a look at a few interesting NFTs on Veve and their price movements to get back into the swing of things. Kind of took a little break over the New Year's weekend. I think it's only been 3 days, but it feels like forever when you make videos on the daily. But anyway, it's good to be back, and I can't wait to see what Veve drops in the year of 2022. Yeah, I can't wait. I think we're supposed to get a 10,000 edition comic this week, so that'll be interesting to see how that goes and what it is. And, you know, we got a lot of things in the pipeline. We got the money transmitter license we're still waiting on. We already have Showroom 2.0, but we're waiting for the Ecomi migration to Ethereum, and then, you know, the website, the web platform, and then we got a lot of things coming. So let's be patient and give Ecomi time to work. And yeah, and with that being said, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is financial advice because I'm not an expert. I'm just your friendly neighborhood genius sharing his thoughts and opinions on this awesome app known as Veve. So take everything that you hear with a grain of salt because things could change. And with that being said, thanks again for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Until then, peace out and how to strong my friends. Later.